What's up, people? Well, you know, they're starting to figure out now that what they did 2 weeks ago affects them today with this uh, SARS-2, SARS 7.0 bioweapon. Um, and they actually are using it as a bioweapon because they've said that China is going to withhold supplies from the U.S. So that is using it as a bioweapon, whether they, uh, you know, built it in a level 4 facility or not. So they've weaponized it at this point. What we've got now, though, is without contact tracing, without any kind of a contact tree, these people don't know where they've been, don't know what they've done, don't know who they've been in contact with, and I don't know where I got it kind of stuff, right? Well, it happens to be that the person that now has it is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, which is like, the leader of their country, really, because the Queen has a role where she plays one role, but the Prime Minister is the one, that that pretty much runs things. So, I mean, the Queen would have a final say in anything she wanted to, but I'm saying, and then that begs to question the possibility: did he have contact with anyone else that maybe had contact with the Queen? Because we already know that Prince Charles has it, but they're realizing this guy's been in self-isolation at his house, working out of his house. So 2 weeks ago is when he got it. You see where I'm at, people? You have to be perfect, not today, not even yesterday, but for the past 2 weeks. You should have been wearing a mask, goggles, social distancing, staying away from people, and not being in a zone that's got a lot of cases, and like I said, not wearing protection. I'm saying goggles, like a seal to your eyes. It's ocular. And then wash your hands down, wash everything down. You could change your clothes, wash your hands with some type of a detergent soap, like Dove dishwashing liquid. They're saying use hand soap because it lathers up for some. It was something about the rubbing effect of it. Whatever. I wouldn't want to leave that on a bar of soap because it still doesn't kill it. It just helps to wash it away. Then alcohol, and then let it dry. Then peroxide, and then let that dry. And then there's nothing going to be on your hands. Well, they were still shaking hands and meeting people and pressing the flesh. You'll see the video in a second. It's not something to play with, and they're saying he has mild symptoms, but that's how it all starts, is mild symptoms, okay? And the worst part of it all is they said that his wife is pregnant. Now, I don't have to go into that again. I've already shown the video where the woman during the 1918 Spanish influenza, or you could call it the Spanish flu or 1918 flu, during that time and every time that there is a deadly contagion pathogen that is a pandemic, pregnant women don't survive it. They just don't. That's just the truth of it. And I've got that video, that older woman telling, no, every pregnant woman we knew, including my aunt, none of them lived. So that's the worst part of it, and the fact that I mean, they don't say that she has it, but if he's been in contact with her for the past 2 weeks, you think about it. So, anyways, I'm going to play this, and then there's another thing about how the Rio gangs have basically taken over and said, everybody stay home or you're going to get coronavirus. And so they're actually, because they're running things, they're making people take it seriously and stay in lockdown. The gangs are protecting people from the coronavirus. So I didn't know what else to say about that. Hey, if they're running it, they're running it, right? And then there was one other video I was going to get into. I'm going to play this first.
Some breaking news that's coming in this minute. The Prime Minister of the United Boris Johnson has tested positive for coronavirus. That's the latest piece of information that's just trickling in. This coming at a time when the UK is grappling with an increasing number of coronavirus cases and deaths. In the latest, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has also tested positive. Now, we are waiting for the details on whether he is now admitted in a hospital at a medical facility or whether he is undergoing self-isolation at home. But what we do know as of now is that his test reports have come back and he has tested positive. Remember, there's been a lot of speculation over
See you right
Boris
there with the
Johnson
kids.
himself undergoing. We're also getting in a clearer picture of the state, the situation on the ground in the UK when it comes to Boris Johnson has tested positive. We are waiting for the details on whether he will be at a medical facility or whether the healthcare system itself has come under, given the kind of measures that have already also been discussed and talked about, whether the measures that have been taken by the UK already have been sufficient. But at the same time, as the UK deals with the rising number of cases and deaths and grapples with the
Look, Elmo might have it. I'm just saying the guy behind. It's real. Elmo, people, it don't get no more real than this. Look, if Elmo gets it, that's it. It's all done. And whoever the dude on the left, but really, you know, this is where we're at.
Positive for COVID-19.
Right behind them.
Let's play out this reaction that's coming in for us.
That's not a mask, by the way. That's not an approved mask.
Hi folks, I want to bring you up to speed with something that's happening today, which is that I've developed mild symptoms of the coronavirus. That's to say, a temperature and a persistent cough.
That's the first
symptom.
symptoms.
On the advice of the chief medical officer, I've taken a test.
I gotta stop this.
Positives.
I gotta stop this for a second. Okay, people, listen to what I'm saying for just a second. For real. There is no mild form of this virus. Okay, and it takes 2 weeks to go into the worst cases of it, and it gets into your lungs and it causes damage, period. Some people have stomach issues first. You know, it's presented itself as something different. They say it's 3 different diseases in one, maybe more, but there's no mild form of it. You're not going to magically get the rich person form of it. Oh, I've got the posh version, or I've got the gentle version. It's you know, it's like the Charmin tissue version. People, this is just the start of this. And like I said, and his wife's pregnant, and they've already shown that Prince Charles has it. There's no telling how many people in the upper echelons of different governments that they all meet and greet and all this. Look, you already know each other. Stop meeting, for God's sakes. But, you know, lead by example. But then this was 2 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago that he got it. He's been in self-isolation, or whatever you want to call it, not quarantine, but self-isolation, and working from home, just for safety, for I don't know how long, at least a week. So during that time, other people that were around him before, they could also be in self-isolation. They could have it also. So I'll play some more of this, and then I'll get into those other videos.
I am working from home. I'm self-isolating. And
he's been self-isolated, though.
To do, but be in no doubt that I can continue, thanks to the wizardry of modern technology, to communicate with all my top team to lead the national fight back against coronavirus. And I want to thank everybody who's involved. I want to thank, of course, above all, our amazing NHS staff. It was very moving last night to join in that national clap for the NHS. But it's not just the NHS, it's our police, our social care workers, teachers, everybody who works in schools, DWP staff. An amazing national effort by the public services, but also by every member of the British public who's volunteering. Incredible response. 600,000 people have volunteered to take part in a great national effort to protect people from the consequences of coronavirus. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody who's working to keep our country going through this epidemic. And we will get through it. The way we're going to get through it is, of course, by applying the measures that you have heard so much about. And
okay, but it didn't work.
Effectively, with comply with those measures, the faster our country will come through this epidemic and the faster we'll bounce back. So thank you to everybody who's doing what I'm doing, working from home to stop the spread of the virus from household to household. That's the way we're going to win. We're going to beat it, and we're going to beat it together. Stay at home.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this. They muted him out anyhow. All right, so 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, about 4 to 5 weeks ago, should have been working from home, and nobody should have been having meetings. And but I still have to cut the ribbon at this ceremony. Oh, but this is my vacation time, and have a staycation at your house. I'm sure that if you have all of your newspapers and bills and all that in order, put them in alphabetical order. Nobody cares what you do. Just stay home. Stay on vacation at home. Don't go to some other country and come back with this. Or, well, I got to get on that cruise ship. I'm booked on it, even though 6,000 people just got off of it that were, positive or whatever. Okay. I'll try to go further from here, but just say this. This is now about global security, not just national security, because if the leadership of England has it, and then they're seen as not strong for whatever reason or whatever, even though they do have a continuance of government, they do have the next guy who's already been named. But yeah, it's no joke, people. You got to wear a mask, you got to wear goggles. I don't care what you look like. Read the book Z is for Zachariah if you haven't read it. They've got a movie, but it's too far from the book. It's way better in the book. I read it years and years and years ago, and it's about nuclear, but it applies to this. So I'm going to go into something else real quick. I may have to switch up the screen to do it. Just turn it this way, and this will just take a half a second. Okay. Yeah, this is where the game...
The length and breadth of the country, with the growing fear of the highly infectious
with the government not doing what they're supposed to do.
On the
People
to remain inside their homes after 8 p.m. With the state government underfunded and Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro widely criticized for a slow response to tackle the virus outbreak, farming themselves to ensure that people
Good
take
job.
precautions
That's all I can
against
say.
this global
What can you
pandemic.
say?
In another slum neighborhood in
Making it
Rio,
happen.
traffickers have begun handing out soaps to the people as a precautionary measure to curb the spread and maintain hygiene. Brazil has reported around 3,000 virus-infected cases so far, with more than 70 deaths.
3,000 cases, 70 deaths. So that's eye-opening. I'm gonna turn this up here. I'm gonna have to go back to where it was here. This is where the U.S. overtakes China in our numbers. Okay.
There are now more than
Hope this
8,000
landscape
confirmed
works out.
cases in the US, just shy of the numbers in China and Italy, and more than 1,100 people have died. New York State is the epicenter. It's now counted more than 37,000 positive cases. That's almost the total for the whole US. So it's also recorded its biggest daily rise in deaths, 100 people in the past 24
And Shrimp Zoo
hours.
was trying to tell y'all that y'all need to stop spreading it. But it was going to go from New Jersey. I said this a while back. It was going to go from New Jersey when they let those people off that boat to New York because they worked there and traveled there. Then from trash trucks hauling it back down to the landfill in New Jersey. And then people that go across the GW Bridge every day and work from New York to New Jersey. None of these people going to be wearing masks. I bet if you go to Chinatown, they probably wear masks. But I'll let him continue here.
For patients who are staying
That's the
on
governor of New
ventilators
York.
longer, they usually have a worse outcome, right? And I think people get that from their usual experience. Had people on it.
Oh, say it fast.
Since we
3,000 of ventilators.
Calls, the highest volume ever.
Now, surpassing 9/11. Now, listen, you know how many people called in during 9/11 to say, holy crap, the towers just got hit and then they fell, and did y'all know this is on fire now? Because you know how many people called in needing help? They couldn't get out the tower and all that. And then this just in one day, but just during the nighttime, they took 6,406 911 calls. Look, I'm having shortness of breath. I need help. Yeah, we'll get to you as soon as we get to the other 6,406 people who called first, right? People, the system's going to get help. So that's what that tells me, and I'm
11. Well, New York's hospitals for an influx of new patients. At one hospital in Queens, people have died inside the emergency room while waiting for a bed.
hospital in Queens. They died in the emergency room.
Of the grim reality, really, in New York. Let's take
Just
a quick
like
look
Wuhan.
at what is happening.
They died waiting.
This is one hospital. Queues outside, people waiting in there. This is in Manhattan too. Actually, a makeshift morgue there too, which is pretty sobering. And down here, this is Miami.
Makeshift morgue, I believe he said.
Field hospital, essentially, that's being built. Up to 250 COVID-19 patients can be treated here at a time once that is all finished. Now, getting a bed in a hospital is one issue. The availability of ventilators is another.
There is none.
Well, no, again.
The number of ventilators we need is so astronomical. It's not like they have them sitting in the warehouse in the federal government.
Oh, let's try that again here. I got bumped off. 3.3 million people. That's a lot of people. Just got had to file for unemployment. So that I can't even touch that number.
You see how that compares to the past 20 years or so in this graph, and graph even more striking. This is from CNBC, shows the past 50 years. You can see the spike. Well, our North America editor, John Sopel, shared that graph. Let's take a look at what he said about it. I've never seen a graph like this. This is the weekly US jobs data going back 50 years. Rise today, less a spike, more a sky rocket. And now,
never seen a graph like that in history, and he's seen all of historical graphs since the stock market started.
Our North America reporter, Anthony Zerk, let's try and get his tweet up, because his is interesting to read. He says the latest unemployment numbers were predicted to be bad. They turned out to be catastrophic. And catastrophic is a strong word, perhaps, but that's what he's using, and
no,
this
it's
is
accurate.
where he's using it. This is his article. Well worth a read if you get a chance. I'm just going to show you one quote from it. The government-ordered shutdown hasn't just shuttered businesses temporarily, it has vaporized the jobs of millions of Americans, many of whom are the particularly vulnerable hourly service workers who live paycheck to paycheck. And he says the test will now be whether the multi-trillion-dollar relief will do enough, quickly enough. Well, here's Samira saying, who's in New York for us.
It is absolutely incredible. We are talking about 3.3 million Americans lost their jobs in 1 week. Not 1 month, not 6 months, but 1 week. And it completely obliterates any previous records. Back in 1982, we saw that the highest number of weekly unemployment insurance claims were made were 665,000. This is just staggering, and it just goes to show just how ravaging the economic impact of the coronavirus will be right here in the United States. And remember, this is just the first real piece of economic data. It does not actually include people that are self-employed, so that means people part of the gig economy. It actually doesn't really truly reflect how many people have filed for unemployment insurance, because systems were just so overloaded by this many
that they went up there and they said,
it's possible that initial
take a number, and people left.
Even all accounted
people
for
left the unemployment office.
It is
said we'll come back
we're
later.
Going to see that this number is going to go up again.
I'm talking about numbers. We just have this update coming into us here at Outside Source. Breaking news. We can report that the US has overtaken China for coronavirus infections. The Johns Hopkins University there.
So that means that the United States now, as far as admitted numbers from China, has got more infected than China right now. And our healthcare system is already overwhelmed. And they have put up some makeshift hospitals, but they're putting up makeshift morgues. So people, it's getting out of hand. And even we've been screaming it. Hey, look, people need to stay home and, you know, social distance and mask up. And if you don't have a mask, you don't need to be out. That kind of stuff. Here's the thing. When you go to the hospital and they send you 5 counties over and you're away from everything you know because you're sick, but they can't help you where you're at, might be a hassle even if you got better to get home. You think you're going to get over the coronavirus and walk home, right? You think Uber's going to pick you up when it's all shut down? You're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck like Chuck in a town you don't even know nothing about. Ambulances for emergency use, they're not going to drive you back home. And then what if the people that you know that could give you a ride can't give you a ride because they're in lockdown or because they're sick too? There's a lot to this. I done told you your life is going to change. I put it in months back. This is not a test. This is not a drill. The people were shaking on the ground and it looked like a nerve agent. People, this is worse than anything you could imagine. It's our worst nightmare. And I'm not being alarmist. I'm being a realist. So we've been telling them, you know, they shouldn't be having all these events. The spring breakers went down there and partied and then come back and then they have it. And they're like, oh, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. And then they realize they can't breathe when they have it. Oh, that's not that good, is it? Not just the flu, is it? Then they get, and the people that do live from it have 20% less lung function. 20% decrease in lung function makes you worse than an asthmatic. And that's why they're gearing up to have all of these Walgreens people hired and all this so they can give out medication that will help those people breathe, like the little breathers for asthmatics and all that kind of stuff. And medicines that are going to help them to maybe have some kind of normalcy. You're going to have medicines like your grandmother never even thought about. Your medicine cabinet, people are going to be having medicine cabinets again. It got to the point where people were like, you know, have a couple of medications if you need them or whatever. Every house is going to have a mirror with a medicine cabinet behind it, a box with a medicine cabinet in it, and it's not going to be first aid. And it's not just aspirin or Tylenol. It's going to be a whole different world. You'll have 4 or 5 medications plus a breather. Watch what I'm saying, people. And then you'll still feel like crap. Did you? Well, you'll find out in 2 weeks. In the meantime, build a contact tree on a piece of paper. See who you're in contact with, including the mailman. And don't be in contact with them. Get it to 0. And grow a garden. Because when truckers are sick, we can't bring you anything. This is all just truth brought to you by me. Y'all stay safe. I'll do another live when I can. I might do these morning reports. I couldn't get it up service-wise earlier. Tried to put it up. It wouldn't go. You know, as far as actually going on this live thing. I could go into this 7 different ways to Sunday. Y'all stay safe and mask up. It's the new trend. Okay, Fashion Week, they're all going to be wearing masks. Goggles up. Stay safe. I'm out. Peace.